Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Toon Review for tonight's show, where we are going to be looking at the players out on loan at the moment and what might happen to them when they do come back to Newcastle United, of course, in the summer. We'll chat about some of the news going on. But in the meantime, if you do enjoy the show, please give it the thumbs up. And, of course, subscribe if you are new to the channel and you like what you see. It is free to do so. And make sure you hit that notification bell so you never miss a live show or an upload. Of course, you can support the channel in the usual two ways: by membership, which we have some great prizes coming up in the coming days for members. That's the join button underneath the two of us. And, of course, Super Chats, which is the $ in the live chat. That will guarantee your comment to be read out on the show. And a big thank you to channel sponsors Mamaroo Records, based in Whitley Bay, for all your music needs. If you can't get into Whitley Bay to the shop itself, check them out online. That is pinned at the top of the description. So all your music needs, head to Mamaroo. Good evening, Alex.
Good evening, Paul. Good evening, everybody in Viewerland and the Magpie Massive. But definitely not Todd Bowley, who's in the chat already. Go away, Todd. Yeah. Stop watching transfer shows and loan shows.
Yes, he likes to keep abreast of what's going on in the football world.
Well, he is a tit, so...
He is a what?
I said he is a tit.
Oh, dear. Okay, well, that's fair enough. I mean, Todd, I do apologise on behalf of Alex. I really do appreciate you watching these shows. Alex, of course, may not be...
Well, whoever's controlling the account is fair enough, but the actual ownership of Chelsea couldn't give a toss.
But what I'd like to do first of all, Alex, is give ourselves a shout-out, really, because we basically... studied a player on the last show, which was, of course,
we did,
Mr. Toon. And you did say, please do check him out. Watch him tomorrow night against Bayern Munich. And, of course, he scored. Unfortunately for Celtic, it wasn't enough because of that goal Bayern scored at the end was just nonsense. It was just, I mean, if that's one way to go out, desperately unlucky, that was it. But couldn't look good.
He did, and hats off to Celtic for and this is what I said the other day in the transfer show. For people going, oh, it's only Scottish football, and this is Cameron Carter-Vickers who was putting up a performance. This is Bayern Munich. It's Bayern Munich. They are, football royalty, heritage, as Mourinho would call it. And they were fantastic. Maeda was incredible. I think Engels had a great game to a degree. Toon as well on the right hand side. So technically gifted, energetic, some reasonable pressing.
Casper rolled back the years and all with some great saves.
He was sensational. He was gutted when they lost, but. Yeah, McGregor as well should really have scored and sorted something out. They really should have scored.
It should have been 3-0 up at half-time. They should have been 3-0 up at half-time. There was some great opportunities.
Kuhn had a shot cleared off the line. He had two shots on target. One cleared off the line. He had one that went in, and he was fantastic. So for anybody who did watch the Bayern Munich game yesterday, definitely good enough for the Premier League. And I think good enough for our squad as well. I don't see why not. I think he's
without a doubt.
He's far more technically gifted than Harvey Barnes in terms of pace and trickery and movement of the ball. Obviously, Barnes' goal record is great, but so is Kuhn so far.
Yeah, he looks a real player. He's got that. There's just something about him. He's not very tall, is he? He's quite a small guy, but he's got some great feet. But like I say, Celtic for me should have won that game comfortably last night. They played so well, but it wasn't to be. But it'll give them tremendous confidence moving forward. One thing, this is going to piss a lot of people off, Alex, is I'm looking at all the Newcastle United headlines and stuff just as we went live. And all I'm seeing is, the first one, the jaw-dropping Liverpool and Newcastle United swap transfer deal that could break the internet. Now, I don't know whether
that was going to be my... Yeah, that was going to be my shamed by Stato on Friday.
Well, we'll do it now. You can do a shame by Stato on it as well, because you can go in more detail.
We'll do it now because it's terrible.
But it is ridiculous. And for those of you watching that don't know what we're talking about, there's been various reports breaking over the last 24 hours of a possible deal involving Alexander Isak going to Liverpool and a part exchange deal for Darwin Núñez, which would obviously be Darwin Núñez plus cash. Now, to be honest, if they offered us £200 million plus Núñez, I'd probably take that. But there's no way they're going to do that. And I'm sorry, it's ridiculous because they're talking around Núñez plus around 40 to 50 million quid. I mean, Alex, as dumb as some of these reports get, you know, I mean, this has grown legs again, and it's sort of all over the place now, and it's just sudden ridiculous.
I mean, I don't know where it originated from. I haven't done enough digging. I mean, to be fair, Aaron Taylor's just put exactly what my point's about to be. If I'm trying to not be as nitpicky and be fair, we were linked with Darwin Núñez historically. We have done him on a transfer show on you know, on this show before on this channel. However, we did him on a transfer show before that famous Liverpool game where Liverpool then fell in love with him because they got destroyed by him. And then he carried on for the rest of that season, scoring goals in Portugal, and ultimately got snapped up. But I guess he presses well to a degree. He's energetic. He's okay, but he's not the sort of. I don't think he's worth the sort of money that they paid for him, despite being a very good player. But Alexander Isak is just on the next level. Well, completely. Yeah. It's not worth it. It's not even worth entertaining that as an option. Definitely not.
But it's again, I mean, you know, how many times do we have to, and we do have to discuss it because it's Newcastle United news, and it may well be clickbait. But you know, when you see multiple reports, you kind of, you know, and you kind of start thinking, well, you know, the bandwagon has started again. Now, obviously, Arsenal can't afford Isak, so they've turned to Liverpool now and thought, well, let's look at Liverpool and let's see what Liverpool could do in order to try and get Isak out of Newcastle. Let's tempt them, or whoever's come up with this, saying, oh, well, Darwin Núñez, you know, why not? I mean, look, Núñez isn't in the same stratosphere as what Isak is. I mean, Núñez needs about 10 attempts at goal to score one. So, you know, he's not in the same bracket. I mean, if they were to offer crazy money, Alex, would it be something you'd look at if that money was crazy, but certainly not 40, 50 million quid?
It'd have to be Darwin Núñez plus the value of what we originally paid for Isak. It'd have to be 60 plus in cash plus Núñez just to even take a seat at the table for me. To bring negotiations to the table, it would have to be something substantial. Yeah, it'd have to be a huge cash sum of 60 odd plus a player of Darwin Núñez's standard. And again, like I said, I must reiterate that is to begin negotiations. That's not the final fee. It's very poor journalism, in my opinion. Even if fine, if some weirdo's got a mate who's a kit man's mum's sister's dog's whatever. Okay, what you're getting just as bad as in the nose at that point. They've written a story about it, but Liverpool factually have more pressing matters at hand with Mo Salah, Virgil van Dijk, and Trent Alexander-Arnold with contract issues. They've got a brand new manager, and they're flying at the moment. There've been a couple of wobbly signs recently in performances, and they've got 3 big shoes to fill. None of those are the strikers. That's a right winger, a right back, and who else did I say? Oh, Van Dijk and a centre half. So none of those are the striker. It doesn't make any sense. It's very lazy, silly journalism, and it is getting boring that people can go to the University of East Anglia, do 3 years writing about David Beckham, and then suddenly put out absolute codswallop that everybody in the country's got to listen to for bloody ages, which is why people watching channels like this, because we're going to try and do it seriously, and wade through the crap to try and give informed information for you guys, because we want it as well. We want the answers. We love the club. And it's just, and that's not, I don't know why I just called out that university specifically. I don't really know anything about them. So there are probably a fine university, but still. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. I think we should just move on from it and ignore them like we always do.
It really is pathetic. I mean, I'm a little lost as to why I know they get clicks and certain things like that, but these reporters, I mean, although they're putting it out there for clicks, if people do click on it and read a pile of crap, then that is going to do that particular reporter no end of good in his reputation or whoever he's writing for. It becomes.
It doesn't seem to matter, though, Paul. That's the thing.
Rubbish.
It doesn't seem to matter. We've got journalists like Louise Taylor who write absolute dross and just weird takes on things, and they have a good job and presumably a very good career, very good salary, very good perks, and for just stuff that a 16-year-old at secondary school could write about drones and stuff, it's pathetic. It's the weirdest industry I think I've seen.
Yeah, can we just cast our minds back to yesterday when it was announced we won't be selling any of our star players in the summer? They've told the players that if you think you're good enough to be in the European Champions League, then prove it. And instead of sort of jumping ship because you haven't been able to make it. It was quite a bold statement, and it was a very good article from Craig Hope, and it was something I was very interested and wanted to read because at last, but again, Newcastle make a statement like that, or reports come out making a statement like that, but these reporters still don't take any notice, and they'll still bang on about it.
Even that bothers me to a degree because I know Craig Hope does a lot of good work for getting the information out there, and it is quite often correct, but it still rubs me up the wrong way personally that these journalists have got so many sources on the inside. Like, how is he getting that out? Is the club telling him that? Is this all just a complete inside job and always has been? Or is it a case of Craig Hope actually knows the kit man and his nan and his cousin and his dog? Like, I don't get it. I think it's weird, and I'm surprised. It must be an inside job because surely the clubs would have nipped this in the bud. Like, it can't be that hard to figure out how information's getting out.
You would imagine, yeah.
So strange.
Somebody is obviously being told to leak certain information, but
it must be. I can't believe that people are so incompetent that all of this would be getting out to so many journalists every week. Yeah. It's got to be on purpose. Because I agree. It happens in every club. Every single club has this. It must be on purpose.
Ab says there is definitely a general disrespect against us in the press where we are seen as a stepping stone to the cartel. That's exactly what I was discussing yesterday. Anyway, tonight is all about talking about loanees as well and who's out on loan at the moment. How well are they doing? Just to give you guys out there a bit of insight as to how they're getting on and what could be the possible future for the players out on loan. Because I think it is interesting just to take a step away from the main 11 and the main squad, just to see what we have behind the scenes to come through or not come through. So we'll have a look. Is that the first one up there, Alex?
Well, it's broken up into 3 sections, guys. So we're going to have a look at the under-18s who are out on loan, the under-21s who are out on loan, and then players from the senior team that are out on loan.
Okay.
We'll break it down into chunks.
Well, here we go.
Do you want to say his name?
Vakhtang Salia.
Yeah, of course. So we briefly mentioned him the other night. I thought it was prudent to do a proper show on everyone because I did miss a lot. So I think we've got to do this properly. So just so you know where I'm getting this from, the NUFC website, the new and improved website, is actually quite good. You can go and have a look at the different teams, the men's, women's, and academy. You can go and have a look at the age brackets. Joe Brayson with a cheeky little shush celebration there. You're not allowed to do that anymore, Joe. You'll get booked. Don't do that.
Yeah, you will. Yeah. It is quite clever how you hover over a player and they do the goal scoring celebration.
Oh, they could have called. Oh no, we don't. No, we're not doing Rashford stuff, Mr. Thomas. Go. Let's put that away. Anyway, so we've got the U18s. So Mr. Munda. Let's scroll down a bit. We've got loads of goalkeepers, guys. Aiden Harris, Adam Harrison.
Well, to be honest, Alex, that isn't a big surprise, is it? We got loads of goalkeepers. It doesn't matter whether it's the first team or the academy. We've got loads of goalkeepers.
We have got loads of goalkeepers. It doesn't matter what age group. For people who say, so Brian, you can't shush. No, you're not allowed to. So you're not. The rule changes for people who were confused by my comment there. You're not allowed to do anything that's considered. What's the word? not derogatory, but
no,
like baiting. You can't bait them.
Inciting behaviour.
Incite. There you go. That's the right word. If you're
I'm
trying to do
proud of myself
gestures
there,
and
Alex,
stuff
for getting that before you.
Yeah, you outworded me there. Well done. But to rile up the opposition fans or to be disrespectful in that manner, that is the criteria. So if you are going to go out and shush, this is what happened in the Merseyside derby the other week, with Decore kind of walking up to the Liverpool fans. Anyway, so Salia, for people who don't know, is the young striker we signed from a Georgian club. He is back out on loan, and the season has not started yet. So
we looked at him.
We've got no information on him.
Yeah,
we did. So we will swiftly move on from the U18s, and we will go to the under 21s, which we have more players out on loan. One of which being Max Thompson, a goalkeeper who does not look thrilled to have had his picture taken and doesn't have a changing graphic. He must have been.
Well, I would imagine goalkeepers don't, mate. To be honest, I mean they don't score a lot of goals, do they?
We're going to do jazz hands when you. Yeah, it's not really a celebration, is there?
Exactly.
So Max Thompson, I do know him because he was on loan at the Cobblers before, so that is near my neck of the woods. So let's go and have a look at Mr. Max Thompson. Here he is. So he is out on loan currently at Chesterfield. Unfortunately, it's going a little bit. It's going interesting for him. So he's 188 centimeters. I don't think we should take too much notice of the height.
Everybody watching, well, Alex says it's going interesting. What he means is it's not quite working out.
Maybe that might be the case. 20 years old, 188 centimeters. I mean, do you grow more after 20? Probably not. I'm guessing no for a guy. I think probably that's his limit. So he's 188. That is his height, whatever that is in proper money. And we've got some match ratings. So he's playing a lot, which is really, really good. I think he's got 18 appearances. We'll go and have a look at that in a minute. So some sixes, not great. Conceded 2, conceded 2, conceded 2. Bit of a theme here. Some reasonably good games. I mean, they beat Bromley 3-0. We know what that's like. We've beaten Bromley before. Yeah, so they're doing okay. In terms of Chesterfield as a club, they are literally the club trying to chase down the promotion places. This is in League 2, by the way, for people who don't know. They are basically the top scorers of everybody above them, apart from the league leaders in Warsaw. They are chasing everybody down with 49 goals scored, plus 12 goal difference. So they're definitely up there in terms of attacking. Defensively, they've let in 37. It leaves a bit to be desired. I have got his FB ref up. And
just before you do that, Alex, we've got Keith Lee, who's been a member for 2 years, celebrating his 2-year anniversary of membership. Thank you very much, Keith. He says, wish we get more affiliated clubs from Europe to loan our youth to learn tactics and technique instead of League 1 and 2 and get kicked around. I agree with that. I think it's a good idea. Getting out there into Europe and learning your trade.
I agree. But again, this carries on from the conversation we've had about Shola. I think we'll swing back around and have that conversation again tonight, but maybe not yet.
Yep.
So save percentage, Paul, is 59%.
Well, it's not good, mate. It's
low. It's a bit low. I mean,
I don't think it's where he wants it to be to try and force his way into Eddie Howe's or Eddie Howe to notice. It's not great.
So that people know how this is measured or calculated, it's based on shots on target against. So it's a little bit concerning for me if your goalkeeper, if every 2 shots at goal, one's going to go in. I'm not cool with that.
That's almost what it is. Yeah,
that's that's pretty bad.
2.7 or something like that. Good point that Paul Geordie makes. Kieran Dye is a coach at Chesterfield, of course.
Explains a lot.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Swiftly moving on.
So I can't say. I mean, my efforts have been put towards transfer shows. We do have enough for a very good one next week. However, I've not had enough time to go and watch Chesterfield. Sorry, guys. I have a finite amount of time, so I can't say I've watched Chesterfield this year in League 2. But these are not great numbers, I won't lie. And Fox is just saying that, he's conceding a lot, but he is playing a lot. It's,
I mean, it also depends what's in front of him. You know, we have to look at goalkeepers in a bit of a different way. And what defence has he got in front of him, and how out of all these
I mean,
Shopsy
NUFC always
faces.
asking, what's an average one? I mean, if you want a bit of a metric, shall we have a look at somebody like Dubravka, just to give you somebody who's on the better end of the scale at the moment. So Dubravka's in the Premier League is 70.7%. And as a percentile for the Premier League and the big leagues, he is in the 57th percentile. So Dubravka is just above average, slightly better than average save percentage in the top.
I mean, basically,
five
what you're
divisions
looking
in
at
Europe.
is 70%, Alex, is basically you concede 3 goals every 10 shots. So,
yeah.
It's
70-ish% is a ballpark figure that's not terrible. Obviously, it does depend on the league you're in, but 59 is quite low. It's not great. Yeah, Andy's saying that it does depend on the state of Chesterfield, on how they're setting up, on the quality of defenders, how many shots are being allowed. I mean, if you remember us last year when everybody was getting in between our midfield and back four, that wasn't our goalkeeper's fault necessarily. So it is what it is. So he's 20 years old. I will just say again, he's 20 years old. So for a goalkeeper, he can play for another 6 years before we even need to look at this kid. We could loan him out. We could keep him as he progresses, and it does not matter. Or if we deem in 2 or 3 years' time he's not it, we can get rid of him. It's one of those things. So we'll just see how he develops. But that is Mr. Max Thompson. We also have James Huntley, who is, funnily enough, and I didn't realise this, Paul, is 20 years old. So I think needs to be discussed
he needs
with the same brush as...
he needs something to happen and happen quickly. He needs to prove himself, because he's at that age now where, I mean, he's gone to Spain, hasn't he? So
he's in the sixth tier. He's in
Northern
tier, the sixth
Premier
division.
League
He's in
North,
National League North.
National League,
the National League North.
National League North. Yeah.
So Spennymoor, and he's not actually made an appearance yet. If I scroll down, he's got minutes in the U21s for us, and then he's been on the bench. So I think he's only just got.
Did he not play last night, Alex? They were at home last night.
If they played last night, they've not updated it on SofaScore. That's how little they care about the National League North. If he played last night, then fair enough. But
you know what? That is not a bad league, Alex. I'm telling you now, that's not a bad league. National League North.
I mean, I'd love to come and watch the National League North, and I probably will in a couple of years' time.
South Shields are in it. Blythe Spartans are in it. Darlington are in it, of course. There's quite a few Northeast teams.
They need to get out of it and get up, so that we've got more good teams in the Northeast, and we can bring better talent through for Newcastle specifically. That's the whole point. Not that you're all meant to be feeder clubs, but you kind of are. So James Huntley, there's not really much to say about him. We've not really seen him much. So for people who do go and watch the youth players, unfortunately, we don't have the ability to do that yet for the Toon review. We will hopefully be doing that at some point in the near future. But James Huntley has gone to Spennymoor Town. He is 20 years old, though, Paul, and his birthday is on the 2nd of March. So this kid is going to be 21 in a couple of weeks. So 21 in a couple of weeks. I don't know about you. I've never seen this guy anywhere near the first team. We had Sean Neve, we've had Munda, we've had other players kind of in and around and getting some sniffs and looks in. Has anybody seen James Huntley on the bench? I can't remember.
By the way, Spennymoor won 3-1 last night, Alex, but FotMob doesn't tell you the lineups, so I have no idea if he played last night or not.
Yeah, so I don't know. So for me, for this kid who is going to be 21 in 2 weeks, we'll have to see how his time at Spennymoor goes. But I think this is no disrespect, James. I'm sure you're a lovely lad. But if we're about to reach 21 years old, and
Spenny Chris, Alex, has just confirmed he wasn't on a bench for last night's game. So there you go.
I mean, that's concerning. I do feel for him. I feel like this is going to be another one that's just going to end up in the National League North for most of his career. Anyway, that's James Huntley. I really hope I'm wrong, James. If you're there, I really hope you obviously do break through, because it would be great.
Absolutely.
But at nearly 21 years old, being loaned out, all of us have got concerns about us loaning to League Two. So when we go 2 divisions below that, it's not great. It isn't great.
Yeah.
Charlie MacArthur.
Now he's come with a
47.
This is the guy with a decent reputation that we brought in from somewhere in Scotland. I can't remember which team it was, but he came with
we're poaching all the little Scottish and Irish talent, aren't we? So.
Yeah, very good potential he came with.
Here he is. I don't know why SofaScore have used the most pixelated picture they could possibly find of the poor boy. But there he is. 19 years old, birthday on the 12th of May. So towards the end of the season, he's going to turn 20. So he's got a bit more time. He is left-footed as well, which always, I feel like football's a bit like tennis, isn't it? You're always a bit better if you're left-footed because there's just not as many of them.
Thank you, John. He came from Kilmarnock, didn't he? Yes, thank you, John. Yeah, Kilmarnock, Alex.
So he is a centre-half.
Yeah.
And if we scroll down, he's been playing. Woo! We have data for him. So he actually played against the Chelsea U21s halfway through December, and he scored, and we beat them. So good effort.
Now, you have to take into consideration, Alex, as well. Carlisle are having an abysmal season. They are rock bottom of the Football League right now.
I mean, he doesn't look like he's doing terrible.
No, it doesn't.
To be honest, I mean, they are getting some proper.
He likes a yellow card
against Swindon. Jesus Christ!
He likes a yellow card.
Yeah, he does like a yellow card. Four since he's been there, and only joined in January. So 18th of January, he played against Bradford. They did lose 1-0. He looks like he's got some good performances. They lost 1-0, and he got a yellow card against Notts County, and he dropped to 7.1. So it looks like he had quite a good game, to be fair. So what are they playing? They're playing oh my days, what is this? Okay. Let's go and have a look at how he did then.
And while you're doing that, hi, it's me, says, what's the latest on Miley at Hartlepool? That's not a loan, mate. He's gone there permanently. Jamie Miley was a permanent signing for Hartlepool, so we won't cover him in a loan move.
He has gone. Yes, Foxy, Mike Williamson did get sacked. They did a statement, and it was one sentence. It was abysmal. They literally didn't care. It was really bad. 1 out of 5 ground duels. 1 last man tackle is a cool metric to have. An interception, a tackle, reasonable passing. Again, it's a low. It's League 2, guys. 2 key passes, 4 out of 11 accurate long balls. I mean, it's okay. He created a big chance as well for a centre half. I don't know how he did that. Maybe it was from a corner or something. Yeah. Who knows? So it looks like he had a good game, but this is good for his development if it lets me scroll over. 19 years old, 20 come the end of the season. He's getting regular minutes as a centre-half in a proper men's division. It's good for his development. If he works out, fantastic. If he doesn't, developing somebody enough that we can get a transfer value for them is equally as important for the growth of the football club. So pretty positive. So Charlie MacArthur, I know he's very highly rated as well. So
Peter McCardle's saying Mark Hughes is now the manager. Is that right? Mark Hughes?
I mean, it will tell me.
Really?
So let's go on the last game.
I mean, I sound like Scooby-Doo there. Really?
Where does it tell you the managers? I'm pretty sure it tells. Oh, yeah, look, he is. Mark Hughes.
Wow.
There's his little mug there.
Bloody hell.
I think I did know that.
I didn't. I must admit, I didn't have a clue.
I think there was a bit of media on it because he's been saying some funny things. Has Dummett been playing recently?
I think
he got injured, didn't he? Like,
he's out for the season.
Right away.
Dummett,
yeah, Dummett got injured immediately, I think, which is completely not like Paul Dummett.
Mark Hughes. Well, I'll tell you what, that might not be bad for MacArthur working under Mark Hughes with all that experience that Hughes has got. I'm not talking about managerial as well, but playing wise, he'll be, he was an out-and-out forward, wasn't he, Mark Hughes? So he might be able to do some work with MacArthur on how to defend, given how Mark Hughes used to play. I mean, Mark Hughes like to get stuck in, didn't he? So it might not be a bad move, that.
Hopefully. I'm of the opinion, it's what I just said a minute ago. We either need to be developing them so we can use them in the first team or get near the first team, or developing them enough so that we can sell them for a good transfer fee. I'm getting so bored of this. Developing players for ages, getting a bit of hype, and then they disappear and play for North Shields. No disrespect to North Shields, but we need to be developing players that are at least getting up to League One Championship standard. Like, we need to be developing better talent. And this is the whole point in Paul Mitchell saying that all of this is just not fit for purpose, because it's not. It needs to be better. Travis Hearns, Hernez. I don't know. I don't know how to say his name. I'm going to call him Travis.
It's got to be Hearns. Surely it's got to be Hearns. It's not.
Yeah, but how do you say it in? in his language? I don't know.
Well, what nationality is he? And I'll tell you.
He is Norwegian.
Well, in that case, it would be Hernez.
How do you know that? Are you Norwegian?
No, I just have I'm multilingual, Alex.
Yeah, I'm chatting shit more like. Anyway.
Cheers, mate. That was a lovely thing to say. Thank you.
He plays for AB, which is not their actual name. They're called like what's their actual name? It's something. I can't remember.
Bloody
it is Aalborg. There we go. Aalborg. So he's there at the moment. Although this is where I'm going to have to lean on Foxy for this because he just seems to know everything about everything. I don't think they're on. I don't think the season's on, or at least he's not playing at the moment.
He says it's a good league for him to go into, restarting again in a couple of days because they're on a winter break, mate. Because it snows a lot in Norway.
How do you know all of this? Unless he's just got really fast fingers. Because I spend all day looking at football, and Foxy just knows.
Well, Alex, you just have to work out where Norway is in the world and think, yeah, it snows a lot in the winter there. Quite
necessarily how it works, though.
Well, it is. I mean, you can't possibly play football in Norway in the winter. That is why they have a winter break, because it snows a lot, mate. And it not just snow, but we're talking feet and feet of snow to the point where it just can't. You cannot play football in the winter in these countries. It's impossible.
Well,
I mean, I'm bringing me Michael Fish out here, but it's just fact.
Anyway, Travis, 19 years old. He will not be 20 until November, so several months into next season. So we've got a bit more time with this one. He's not about to turn 21. He's got loads of time. He has actually been.
Alex,
what?
Some people are saying that Aalborg is in Denmark.
He's
Norwegian, but he plays in Denmark. Well, the same
Norwegian.
thing. It snows a lot in Denmark. It's right next to it.
We're getting things mixed up. It is a Danish club, yeah. He's Norwegian specifically.
Yeah, they play hockey on frozen lakes over there. So, that's how bloody bad it is.
I mean, you can play football on frozen lakes. It's not a good idea.
I don't think I'd like to. I mean, I've had ice burns before, Alex. They're not pleasant, mate.
Denmark's not as cold as Norway, is it? It's a little bit more south.
Well, Raz says Aalborg's last game was cancelled because the pitch was frozen.
Well, I mean, he's got a Danish player as his profile picture, so that means he's just factually correct on everything Danish.
Yeah.
Right, Travis Hearns, let's actually talk about him. He has been in and around the first team for the last 12 months. He was involved in preseason. He was involved in matchday squads towards the back end of last year. He's been around. Unlike James Huntley, sorry, James, I feel like I'm really calling this kid out tonight. Not your fault. But Travis has been in and around a lot of first team stuff that we've seen as fans. So this guy seems like he's rated a lot more. Again, really sorry, James. He's, 179 centimeters. I'm pretty sure he's a midfielder. He is a midfielder, yes. We've seen him in midfield, right-footed, and he has been loaned out, as people have said, to a club in Denmark. We don't have much data on them because the season's not on at the moment. He's gone for a club friendly. I don't know why this is down as MLS preseason. I think they maybe went to Seattle to play Seattle for their preseason.
Yeah.
So they've gone to do some funny stuff, and now it'll kick off in the next few days. So we'll probably do a loan watch again next month. And a lot of these, like Vaktun Salias and Travis Hearns, we will have some data for because they will have started playing. So we could get some decent data next month.
Yes, I did, Sean. Yes, I did. Thank you very much, mate. I got an invite by Sean to go and recuperate in Norway. He lives in a very lovely, looked like lovely countryside and stuff, and just a place to go and put your head down and recover. So thank you for that, Sean.
Very nice. Miodrag Pivash. So we looked at him the other day. I can't remember where he is. I've completely forgotten. Where is he? Pivash. Let's copy and paste his name, shall we? Let's go and have a look because it's completely eluded me where he is. I Okay, apparently he doesn't exist. Okay, what if we type his
You
name?
might need to put a
funny
space. You might need to put a space in there, Alex. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's at Willem II. Okay, we did do this. So he's the Serb who we got from, I think, was it another club in Serbia? Serbia. And yeah, he's there at the moment. He's been on the bench a lot recently, as you can see. We went through this the other night. He played in the Cup in December and has not been involved since. But I mean, again, I'm quite positive about this guy. I think he looks quite good. I've seen him a little bit, whereas a lot of the others I've not really seen too much of because it's hard to get info on them. But Pivas has got some stuff online that he's played in some games, so there's stuff you can go and see. And he looks really good. Again, potentially because he's 188 centimeters, so he's big. But what was that? Was that 6'2"? I think we agreed earlier, wasn't it? So he's a good height. He's right-footed. He's reasonably technically gifted. He looks like a reasonably good passer of the ball as well. So I'm quite excited about this one. Although he's on the bench a lot at the moment, I'm excited to see what he's going to be like when he comes back in the summer and we see him in preseason.
Yeah.
And that is the last U21 player that is out on loan. The rest of them are all from the senior squad. So that's 5 of the U21s out. So if we jump over to the senior
Alex,
team page.
Interesting question from My Like Coffee. Is there a Willem Von?
No idea.
That's an interesting question. That otherwise, why are they called Willem? Whatever it is, Willem 2 or whatever it is in Dutch. It's a strange name, but it's a good question. I have no idea.
I'm sure we need the Dutch version of Tom, who I'm sure exists somewhere. Tom, have you got a Dutch cousin that knows what you know about their football?
Yeah. Lars might know. Lars, what do you know about it? Why they called Willem 2 or 2? It is 2, yeah. It is Willem 2, but it's a number 2, isn't it? So why? Oh, solid. Anyway, are we bothered about Lloyd Kelly, Alex? Because we know he's moving. So
yeah, so we can kind of gloss over Lloyd Kelly. He's on this list because theoretically officially he's out on loan. He's not fully gone yet, but it is a formality. He will be gone, so we can kind of just ignore literally look at the 3 players who you can tell these 2 might have a future with the club, and the 3 that probably don't look very happy at all in these pictures. They're like, why am I here? Like poor Jamal Lewis turned up for this media day and he was like, what is the point, guys? Why are you making me do this media day? Like, you don't want me. The poor lad, honestly. Anyway, Alex Murphy is an important one. Let's go type in Alex Murphy, shall we, and go and have a look at his season so far, which I'm pretty sure.
I believe he's doing okay.
I agree. I know a lot of people have been raving about him. So obviously we know he's left-footed. We know he's a left-sided defender. He's been used at left back and left-sided centre half for us, and when we've seen him in pre-season and things like that and youth level. He is 20 years old at the moment. After the season's finished in June, he's going to be 21. So this is a good time for him. This is I think is his breakthrough season for me. This is where we're going to know what level he might be able to end up at. And he's gone to a good club. Bolton are a very, very big historical club, and I think should be a lot higher than where they are. I'd love to see them try and force their way back up to the Premier League.
Have ruined them over the years, haven't they? So I believe they're under stable ownership now and starting to come back.
He's got the number 3 shirt as well, which is a big thing for a loanee to go in and take.
Yep.
And if we scroll down, we can have a look at his recent matches. So on the bench for the first couple of fixtures, he played in a 3-1 victory over the Cobblers, a 1-0 defeat to Reading, and then he played against Crawley. Of course, this went a little bit viral of him scoring that, because I think he scored the winner, didn't he? Everybody went a bit mental about this. And if we go and have a look at that game, it was... Oh, there he is. Oh, he's played as a left back. I didn't realize he was playing as a left back in this game.
Well, he can, as we know, Alex. We watched him a few times in the preseason where he played both centre back and left back, of course.
Look at that heat map. Looks like a croissant. It's very, very attacking there. He's got right the way up. So maybe something we've not seen from him much at the club. He's had to play a lot more of a disciplined role.
A bloody croissant.
I mean,
what the hell are you looking at?
It's a little crescent moon there. Look, is that not a croissant?
I mean,
please tell me I'm not the only one seeing that.
I daresn't ask the chat what they think it looks like, because I have a good idea. If Billy was on the show, he'd say something very different to you, pal. But I wouldn't look at that and say croissant. Anyway, swiftly moving on.
69 minutes played. Or maybe he didn't score the winner then. It feels like very early to score the goal. 1 goal, 1 clearance, 3 tackles, 5 out of 9 ground duels. Remember, he's playing as a fullback in this game. Do we have any crosses? He tried 4. He made none. I mean, he tried his best. An accurate long ball, a key pass, reasonable passing data as well. 83% is not terrible. A shot on target as well, which I'm guessing was his goal. 1 completed dribble. Yeah, it's good data. We got a goal. He looks like he's having loads of fun. And then it looked like his number went up. He was even higher rated in the following game against Shrewsbury, despite not scoring. So he's obviously done something rather good in this game. So he's played as he's played as a wing back.
Wing back.
He's gone left wing back this time. How's he done? He's covered all of the ground, all of it. That is mental. He has 76% passing accuracy. Again, he's tried his best. He needs to try and find his teammates with some of these whipped balls, I guess. 2 shots blocked. Fantastic physicality. Look at that. Every single ground duel, 5 out of 7 aerials is brilliant. He was fouled twice, so he's winning those battles, or he's getting fouled. 2 block shots, 2 tackles. Yeah, fantastic game for him. This is a brilliant. If anything, this is a better game for him than the one that he scored in, because this is a much more complete performance from him in the Shrewsbury performance. So looks like he's really getting his teeth into the season. He looks like he's part of the side now. He's been in the last 4 games. Great news for him. Hopefully he can kick on and come back to us in the summer and maybe be a bench player, or
possibly,
because players like Matt Target and stuff aren't going to be around forever, are they? So,
well, hopefully not. Peter Garthwaite with a super chat. If we have a 19 or 20-year-old player coming back, it will take that long for Eddie Howe to play them. They will be 25. Kieran, who's been a member for 11 months. Thank you, mate. Paul, the thing is, Alex doesn't have a dirty mind, but Billy does. Yeah. Poor Billy. Anyway, Joe White, Alex.
Joe White. Now this is do or die for Joe White, because I think he's the oldest out of all of everybody we've discussed so far.
Yeah.
So I do need to type him in though. So let's go and type in Joseph Whitus. Joe White. There he is. So he's at McDonald's. He doesn't look as happy in this picture. They probably took that when he went to McDonald's. No,
would you if you were playing for McDonald's? Exactly.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, left-footed. Of course, we did follow his little journey at Crewe, and he did rather well when he was there last year. Birthday is not until the 1st of October, but he is 22. So no more of this academy. He's not an academy player. He's 22 years old now. This guy needs to be making it to be part of this team. Am I wrong in saying that he got a contract extension recently as well, or have I made that up? It does say his contract. Oh no, that's his contract at MK Dons. I thought he maybe got an extension, but I'm not sure. But yeah, this is a make or break for this kind of guy, because he's 22 years old.
When they released a few at the end of last season, didn't they give a few contracts to a few of the youngsters? So he might have actually.
Yeah, I mean, it's Brian's just made a point. Lewis Miley's 18, so the fact that Joe White is 4 years older, and we're trying to make him break through at Milton Keynes is like in my head. It's concerning. Although Joe White seems like a competent player, we saw him a little bit off the bench at the end of last year, but he is, as a few people in the chat have already said, done pretty well. Look at this, goals and assists.
He also scored against our own goalkeeper on loan.
Yeah, it's quite amusing. Bless him. Yeah, he scored against Chesterfield. I wonder if that was the winner as well. Bloody hell. So some fantastic ratings. 3 goals and assist. They actually lost 6-3 in that game. What a game. But he got a goal and an assist in it. So, I mean, he did his job to a degree. And if we scroll down, he's got another goal as well. He did score against Harrogate Town, 28th of Jan, in a 2-1 victory. They did just lose to Doncaster at the start of Feb. And apparently they've not played a game. Why have they not played a game yet? What are we on, like the 19th of Feb?
I'll check.
Okay. Apparently MK Dons are just having a bit of a sleep. I don't know what's going on with them. There'll be a reason for it. I just don't know. But yeah, he's playing every single fixture week in, week out for MK Dons. It's not always fantastic, but there's a lot of really good performances in here, good ratings, goals. It is League Two though, so you would expect somebody that we're trying to make them break through into our team to be competent enough to rip up League Two, like sort of an Elliot Anderson did. You want them to be good enough.
They played on Saturday, Alex. Saturday just gone, and drew 1-1 with Tranmere away from home. So,
oh well, SofaScore is just not having a good day today. They really need to update their website. Maybe SofaScore is coming to an end, and we need to use a better website.
Joe White didn't play in that game.
Maybe that's why it's not on this list.
And he wasn't on the bench either, so he must have picked a knock-up.
Yeah, maybe. A few people said in the chat, contract extension until 2027. Yeah, I didn't dream it then. I thought I did read it. So that is concerning for me because, Paul, at the end of this season, it is 2025. Yeah. So that means he's got 2 more years left on his deal. And is this guy going to make it? I don't know. I have reservations about I don't know.
Well, I've seen a few. I've seen a few social media things from MK Dons fans on kicking around, and he is well thought of down there because, well, why wouldn't he be? He's playing very well for them. Maybe that's his. I'm not saying League Two's his level, but just finding his feet. Maybe League One, League Two is probably where his level's going to be. I don't know. I might be being a bit harsh, but I guess he's 22 now. It's going to be difficult for him.
After the first couple of months into next season, he's 23. So it's getting to that point where we need to make a decision on him. I don't think he's
going to be a Premier League footballer, Alex. Put it that way.
Well, maybe the extension was under the premise of trying to get a sale. But but I think an interesting one with Joe White. I don't know. Maybe we need a poll on stuff like this at some point. Maybe next month, when some of these lads have played a bit more, we can maybe do some polls on things. Yeah, that is Joe White. We have some even more fun ones to do. I like how they've not even included Isaac Hayden on this graphic. They're just like, no, we can't be bothered. Sorry. Where is Isaac Hayden? Well, he's literally not even on this list. We will have a look at him because he's out on loan, but. Here is another one of the forgotten men, Mr. Harrison Ashby. He looks like he's very sad in this picture.
Yeah,
I don't think he's having a fantastic time either. Harrison,
but he's a QPR with because Hayden was there, wasn't he? He's at Portsmouth now.
He was, yeah. I think he's at Portsmouth now. So, right, Harrison Ashby. He looks a lot happier in this picture, which is better.
He does.
So again, we're not. Don't tell me to be nice. He's 23 years old. So we're going to judge him as a senior men's footballer. He's not a child. He's not in the youth setup anymore. He's 23. So this isn't hopefully the young un comes good. Let's not forget, Tino Livramento is younger than this guy. So, and he's in our first team. So 23 years old. He is a right-footed right back, 179 centimeters. What's that in real money? That is 5'10" and a little bit. So weakness is ball control. Oh dear. Let's scroll down. Ooh, so there was that horrific performance against QPR. Against Leicester from QPR.
Yeah,
that I think was plastered all over social media. He had an absolute stonker in this one. He was awful.
No. Yeah.
And he's getting 6s, bench against Wednesday, played against Millwall, they lost, and then he's benched. Yeah, I don't think it's going great for him at the moment. How did he do in this game? What was this, the Millwall game? They played... Oh, I don't think he even started it. No, he didn't. He came on because somebody got injured. Whoops. What about Hull? Nope. Okay, he's not even in the. He's not even getting a look in the setup. Then he's just.
It's not going well, Alex. I think is what we're looking for here.
Yeah, I mean, Fox has just said it harsh, but it's debatable if Harrison Ashby is even championship level. Well, he's had time in the championship over the last 2 seasons,
and he was bought
really struggled.
Yeah, he was bought as the great Trippier replacement, wasn't he? That's what we all thought because he signed at this. in the same month as Anthony Gordon, because I remember them both being presented on the pitch at the same time. And he was hopefully going to be the Trippier replacement that Livramento seems to be now, but it's never worked out for Ashby. I mean, he scored in pre-season. Did he score against Rangers in pre-season, didn't he? Up at Ibrox. He did, yeah. And he scored a header. But he's never looked the player that he needs to be honest.
He looked good in a couple of YouTube clips for the West Ham youth side, and that's the only positives I've ever seen from him. I've never seen him look comfortable.
Clip, Alex.
Well, yeah.
But
so can Shane Ferguson.
It's not working out. Yeah.
There you go. That's an old school reference for people there who've supported the club for a long time.
Indeed.
Anyway, we'll move on from Mr. Harrison Ashby, the right back. We will move on to Mr. Jamal Lewis, the left back.
Bloody Nora.
Who, according to the club's website, is still on loan. If we click on him, I love this, by the way. This is great from the club. Can we have more of this? This is great. Although I'm pretty sure this loan has ended, so maybe they need to update this bit. Yeah, I think he's come back to the club after not having a great loan spell in Brazil. I don't know what the hell happened there. I don't know who his agent is or how they managed to engineer this weird.
Yeah, it was a weird one. It was a weird one for me, that going out to Brazil. Very strange.
Yeah, super strange. It didn't really go very well. And yeah, I haven't really got much, but I feel like Forrest Gump. I haven't really got anything more to say about that. I mean,
to be honest, Alex, Jamal Lewis, how long have we known that he's not going to make the grade now? A long time. But again, he's on a decent contract.
You say that. That first opening 10 or 20 minutes against Mo Salah when Eddie first came to the club.
Yeah, I was thinking, at that game at Anfield when he did his hamstring. I was there.
Yeah.
And he did look good. But it was 20.
I thought he might be able to progress and we might be able to, and then it's just never. He was injured for like 2 years on and off. I think he had some horrific problems with his groin. It's loads of surgeries, loads of problems, and it's just never worked for him. So I think he is out of contract at the end of this season. So I think he is gonzos. He's
Sao Paulo brought in left back Wendell from Porto, says Foxy, on a free transfer, which is a massive improvement on Jamal Lewis. So
it shouldn't be for the amount of money we paid for him. Bloody hell, he was like 10 odd million or more than that, wasn't he?
Yeah. He was signed by Steve Bruce as well, so let's not forget that. So I did have high hopes for.
You made me type in Steve Bruce then. Bloody hell!
Oh no!
Let's not do that.
No.
Oh God, that's how poor. If the fact I'm typing in Hayden and he's the fourth person, apparently there's a guy called Hayden Jones who comes up before Isaac Hayden on SofaScore. That's bad. Even the Middlesbrough player Hayden Hackney comes up before Isaac Hayden. That's how far his fall from grace has been. So I don't know why.
Because I used to really Isaac Hayden. I really did used to think he did a good job for us. He was reliable.
I think he was another one.
Professional.
Well, similarly to Jamal Lewis, Paul, I think if he hadn't have had that knee injury, I would have been curious to see if Eddie Howe could have gotten a tune out of him.
Maybe.
And progressed him. He might have ended up going sort of the end of that season or two anyway. But with his long contracts, because the contract that he's still running down now is the one that Mike Ashley extended, which is just bonkers. So, of course, he has declared for Jamaica. Steve McLaren's Jamaica, for anybody who has been living under a rock. Yes, that did happen. That was not a dream.
That's scary ass shit right there, isn't it?
It's weird. And he's only 29 years old. Like this, I feel so sorry for him. The peak of his career has just not happened. He's not had a peak. It's very odd. I think there was some news as well about Portsmouth having too many loan players in, and they had a bit of problems about whether they could play him or play all of them. I don't know if that's been sorted yet.
I'm not sure.
He is playing, though, apparently. He played 4 days ago against Oxford United in a 2-0 victory. What did he start? Hopefully. He did start. He got subbed. Hopefully not because he was injured. How did he do?
Of course, Jacob Murphy's twins playing down there as well.
Oh, is he? I always just think he's at Cardiff.
No, he's...
How did he do? So 23 accurate passes. I mean, it's not great. That's pretty poor passing accuracy, to be fair. 1 key pass, no crosses, 3 shots blocked, reasonable physicals. I mean, it's Oxford United. Like, I'm not going to praise him for this. 4 tackles. I mean, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. But I've seen Isaac Hayden play well against like Chelsea and Man City, so he's not getting any praise for playing well against Oxford United. Like, yeah, it's concerning that this is what league are Portsmouth in right now? What is this? They're in the Championship. Okay, so it's not terrible. It's a reasonable level, but yeah, I think it's time for Isaac Hayden now as well.
You don't say.
Am I right in saying that he's got another year left, or is it the end of this season?
Oh,
I can't remember. Let's just go and double check that, because I am worrying myself now. His contract runs out. Oh no, he's got another year, guys. After this one,
who gave him that fucking contract? Seriously.
So once he's come back from Portsmouth, we've still got him for another year. That is bananas. It's absolutely bananas. That is. Yeah. Oh my days.
Hey, by the way, Alex, now that we've got rid of the see you later, Isaac, best of luck, mate. I am just reading a report here from Football Italia, right, regarding Lloyd Kelly. Now, this is what the first line of the report says. Juventus are practically guaranteed to activate their option to buy Lloyd Kelly from Newcastle United. So they're not saying it was obligated. It becomes an obligation if certain conditions are met. Now, I'm just trying to see. It says what those obligations are. They must buy Kelly if they qualify for any UEFA competition during the 25-26 campaign, which is next season.
I mean, that's
so they must buy if they qualify. That must mean for the 25-26 season, not during, because obviously that he's only on loan till the end of the season. So
I mean, they're currently in 4th place, and they've only lost once all season. So yeah. I think they are fairly nailed on for that. They're only, although Milan are in 7th, are chasing 41 points, but they're fine. Like, I'd be shocked if they don't.
Just caught my eye there when it said option. I'm like, hang on a minute.
They've got the second best defensive record in the league, and then they bought Lloyd Kelly. That's interesting.
Well, he's playing tonight for them again in the Champions League.
Is he now?
He is.
What is on tonight? We've got Real Madrid City.
Yeah.
Oh, that's literally just about. Yeah, everything's about to kick off as we finish. Eindhoven Juventus, and Juventus have got a 2-1 aggregate. Ooh.
Should be a decent game. Anyway, that is it for tonight, folks. You can go and watch your Champions League film now, on TV. Thank you so much for watching. It's been very interesting tonight to see where all these players are, how they're doing, what chances they've got. And I think, Alex, basically so far, there isn't many players that we've looked at tonight that may be taking part in the future of Newcastle United, but time will tell. We'll see how they do in the second half of the season, of course. But thank you very much for watching. Mods, thank you very much. And thank you to Alex and yourselves out there. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday night, guys, and we'll see you all again tomorrow. In the meantime, take care.
Away the lads and lasses.
Come back and check out the green.